Mark
Good morning.
and Serena, so they're going to be giving the presentation today. So they have really valuable information that I like, and I think it should be very helpful for every one of you. There you go.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Martina, the opportunity to speak to you guys, and thank you for making it today.
Yeah.
We're very excited to have you here. We're looking forward to meeting each and every one of you on a one-on-one meeting to see what your particular needs are and how we can help in different areas. But today we're going to be talking about the Wealth Academy and creating leads versus chasing them. So that bold statement is pretty much what Mark's going to be talking about and we're going to be learning. So we're going to teach you how to create leads versus chasing them. We don't want to chase leads anymore. We want to maximize on it. So with that, I will introduce Mark. Mark started in the real estate industry at the age of 18. I think it was 1977. At the age of 22, he started his first company, which was Markwood Mortgage. Over the years, he did build Markwood Mortgage into 16 locations with hundreds of agents. And in 2004, he did get interviewed with 3 TV shows, national radio show, and 9 major, what was it, 9?
Periodicals, or newspapers.
Newspapers, gotcha, 9 newspapers, and also within that. I forgot where he got published because we don't read those anymore. But, however, and those, when in his publications, he did predict that the market was going to see a massive flow of foreclosures in the next 2 to 3 years. So he was right on that. And
So
Hugo.
my name is Hugo, and I work with Cynthia. We make up our lending team, and we do work under Mark. So we're going to go ahead and finish this off for you guys. So Mark's new company, the Wealth Academy, is a culmination of 40 years in a career. So this is not something new. He's worked on this, done this, proven it himself. It's today we'll be teaching part 1 of the most advanced educational concepts ever taught. Really, realtors don't know. I think only 1% he mentioned really know this. So I like saying, he says it's a secret sauce. So he might give you a little bit of that today, and then you guys can see what you get from it. But we're here to help if you have any questions at the end. And he's also published many books. He's a written author. He has 3, and he's working on number 4. You might see Why the Rich Stay Rich and the Poor Stay Poor. You might have also read How Heaven Works. It's a faith-based story about life's journey. And he also has another book out, Wisdom for Your Daily Life, Guided Journals for Spiritual Worker. All of these books can be available on Amazon, so he'll go ahead and cover that, I'm sure. So here you go, Mark.
All right, good morning, everyone. Good
morning.
I'm super excited to be with you here. Here's what we're going to go through. There is an amazing, and I call it an epic opportunity for all of you in real estate, but you don't see it. You're not aware of it. And this Wealth Academy journey that, I started this process of 3 years ago, basically, of taking everything that I've learned over the past 40 years and packaging it up and putting together an educational program. And now we're starting to get some serious momentum. It's very exciting. But I need you to understand first why you have this unbelievable opportunity. When I say unbelievable opportunity, I'm talking about unbelievable in 2 ways. Number 1 is to change people's lives in a powerful and profound way. And to me, that's what makes life worth living. Is I'm going to show you how you can literally change people's lives and alter the course of not only their life, but of their children's lives and have a generational impact. And the second is how you're going to be able to make a lot more money, and it's going to be a lot easier to you. But before I get into this, I want to ask all of you a question here. And by the way, what's great about small group is we can have it be interactive as we go through. Now I'm going to cover a lot of ground faster than normal because I only have an hour. I'm going to give you about 2 hours of information in 1 hour, okay? But the first thing I want to ask as a question to you is, how many of you feel that technology is threatening the real estate industry and the agent value? Technology has been I'll share with you, 20 years ago, I read an article, a headline in the Wall Street Journal was, technology is destroying business model after business model. That was 20 years ago. We look at what Amazon has done to retailers, we look at what Uber has done. to the taxi industry. So it's, every industry is technology geeks basically are looking and saying, how can we reinvent this industry? And there's no doubt that this is happening with the real estate industry. But I want to share with you why I'm kind of bringing this up. Saturday, I had an appointment with a client. And the guy's a super smart guy, works for Broadcom. Now, does anybody here know who Broadcom is? Okay, Broadcom's in Orange County, billion-dollar operation. And this guy, so he's a tech guy, super smart guy. So we had a great meeting for about an hour and a half. And so at the end, I was walking him out to his car. It was Saturday night, and we were both getting ready to head on home. And as we were walking out in the parking lot, we were talking. And we were talking about technology and changes, and he goes, Mark, he says, let me tell you what we're working on at Broadcom. He says, are you familiar with 3D copiers? Is anybody familiar with what a 3D copier is? Yes. Okay. Yeah, they're devices where they can manufacture things, right? He goes, we are taking this technology and taking it to levels you won't even believe. He said, we have a device we're working on right now that will be able to build a home within 24 to 48 hours. He said, we're projecting we're going to be able to build a home for about $20,000.
Wow.
Now, think about that level of sophistication of intelligence, right? And he was describing how it works. It's this machine that they put in, they create a foundation, they put it in the middle, and it builds the home from the inside out, right? Now, what's the exciting part is $20,000 to build a house, pretty cheap, right? Now, I'm sure they're going to have to put in electrical and plumbing, with that, but the whole structure to go up within, let's say, 48 hours, that's the exciting part because it's cheap, right? It's going to help make homes more affordable. But what's the downside? How many jobs? How many people are going to get displaced? How many guys cranking nails, right? So this assault is on every industry, not just real estate. But it's the reality. Now, the real estate industry, it says, why do agents believe they have to prospect? What percentage of agents do you think believe that prospecting is absolutely critical to sales?
5%.
You think it's the majority?
Yes.
Yeah, Mike Ferry's been teaching knocking doors, right? And a script, asking the question, are you or anybody interested in buying or selling in real estate? Right? Prospecting has been taught forever, but here's what I want to share with you. Have you ever seen an Apple salesman knock on your door and say, would you like to buy an iPhone or an iPad? Or a Rolex salesperson? Mercedes? Or what about these people? How many have you ever had an attorney knock on your door and say, look, do you have any lawsuits today that I can help with? Or a CPA, can I help you with your tax planning? Financial planners? And here's my point. All these products and these service providers, they want to sell their product, right? They want to make sales. They want to make money, right? So why aren't they prospecting? What's the difference? See, there's different ways to grow your business. Prospecting is just one. There's marketing, and there's networking. But the real estate world, and here's the key word that I'm going to challenge for you today, is believe. The real estate world, the residential real estate world, believes that they have to prospect. But here's the difference. See, the difference is value. The reason these guys aren't prospecting is they are bringing high value, right? So there's a direct relationship. The higher your value, the less you have to prospect. Because how many of us want high value products or services? All of us, right? The lower your value, guess what that means? The more prospecting you have to do. So it's a lot harder, number one, and here's the other big negative. You're easily replaced. From a consumer's perspective, if a consumer just says, you know, this isn't working for me, you know, me and you as an agent, this isn't working for me, and I want to replace you. Now, they may not verbalize that, but they've made that decision. In their mind, how long do you think they believe it's going to take them to replace you? Yeah, it's literally seconds. It's like Zillow, right? Boom, boom, boom. I got agents here, I call them up. The perception of residential realtors is low value and steadily declining value because of technology. Commissions have been dropping. You know, it used to be 6, then 5. Listing commissions, I don't know what the percentage is on this, but I'm telling you, I'm hearing all the time, agents taking listings, 1, 1.5, 2%. Why? Value's coming down. I'm gonna show you how to change this, and here's the exciting part. I'm gonna show you how, not just how, but this value of attorneys, CPAs, and financial planners, you can and should be more valuable than these people. Wouldn't you like to be valued more than an attorney or a CPA or a financial planner to your clients?
Yes.
The value I'm going to share with you that you can bring will put you above that. You can and should be above that. I'm going to elevate that, and you're going to be able to bring greater value than any of these services. And people are going to see you in a different way. And because of that, you're going to get referrals that are coming from this on an epic level, and you're not going to need to prospect. So let me show you the process of how we're going to get to this. All right. Understanding the power of need. You know, this Wealth Academy journey, what's been amazing to me is I've started this process about, I wrote this book and this platform that you're going to see today. And so what's amazing to me is I wrote all this, and this journey began as all about me teaching. But what I have learned, I've learned so much about people. And here are the 2 big things I've learned. I've learned about people's belief systems. I've learned that agents' belief systems are wrong. I've learned that consumers' belief systems are wrong. And I'm going to share with you about the changes that we're going to make here. See, when I say agents' belief systems are wrong, here's where agents' belief systems are wrong. First, they believe they have to prospect. They believe that residential real estate can only be practiced one way. Residential real estate has been practiced the same way for over 100 years. And that way that I'm referring to is it's about agents finding buyers and finding sellers and putting them together. That's what we do. We find buyers, we find sellers, and we put them together. What's changed is instead of filling out the form, now it's all on technology and, you know, the DocuSign and all that kind of stuff, right? And we have Zillow providing the information. But the fundamental concept of agent's job as a salesperson to find buyers and sellers and put them together, that's what they believe. What I'm going to show you is that value is not very important anymore because technology can do that better than you can do that. But I'm going to show you how we can elevate your value. But I need you to open your mind to your belief systems. And consumers have the same struggle. What percentage of consumers believe that their only path to financial security and retirement and wealth is through saving money?
Oh, yeah.
What percentage?
100%.
Yeah, they all believe it. But they're wrong. They're wrong. But all of us have been told from the time we were this tall, you gotta save, right? There's a far better way. And I'm going to show you that. But here's where it starts. It's belief systems, and then the next thing is it's all about need. Now, you know, Cynthia mentioned about chasing need. See, all of you have been trained, the real estate industry has been trained for 100 years to chase need. Now, here's what I mean by chase need. 3 to 4% of consumers are in the market at any given time to make a significant purchase. So when I say significant, there's a difference between, you know, going to Starbucks and getting a cup of coffee, right? That's kind of an impulse buy versus buying like a washer or a dryer, a refrigerator, a car, or a home. So on significant purchases, 3 to 4 people out of 100 have already made their decision. They've decided, I want to buy a refrigerator. I want to buy a car, or I need to buy, right? So every agent has been trained to chase that 3 or 4%. So here's the struggle with that. 3 or 4 people out of 100 is not very many, right? And what percentage of realtors are chasing that 3 or 4? 100%. Every realtor's been trained to hold open houses, knock doors, pursue for sale by owners, expired listings, and everybody's trained to say the same thing. You're hiring the same coaches, right? Isn't every realtor hiring either Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Brian Buffini, and so on, right? And they're all sharing the same scripts. Now, why would you want to do exactly what your competitors are doing? Why would you want to do that? Do you think that's going to really make it easier for you? No, you have to differentiate yourself. But here's my point. 3 or 4 people out of 100, I want to focus on the need. Okay, these people have come to their conclusion. They're saying, okay, let's say I rent an apartment. I rent an apartment, and I don't want to just be paying the landlord. I want to get out of the apartment, so I need to buy a place. What can I afford? Condo, little house, whatever. Or let's say they own a house. I have a 2-bedroom, but I need a 3-bedroom, right? Now here's the challenge. Every realtor has been trained to wait until they come to their own conclusion that I need to buy property. Okay, now let's play that out to the next step. That's why you hold an open house, right? You hold an open house because you want people that have made their mind up, they've made the decision I need to buy, to walk into the open house, right? So someone walks into the open house, and what does the agent say? Welcome to my open house. Thank you for coming out. What brings you out? Right? Doesn't this kind of start like that? Say, oh, well, we've been thinking about buying. We're not really sure, because they don't want to get committed to you, right? We're kind of thinking about it. We just want to see what prices are like in the neighborhood. So what does the agent say? Oh, well, what are you thinking about? Now, isn't the agent really saying, what do you need? Tell me what you're thinking about. Here's my little flyer. We got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. That's for, let's say $500,000, right? So then what do they start talking about? Well, we're thinking about a 3-bedroom. We like this neighborhood, right? Here's my point, okay? Because they've already identified the need, and they come to the open house, you know how they positioned you and how you positioned yourself? As an order taker. You are an order taker. And so when you ask, what are you looking for? What you're really asking is, can I take your order? You position yourself on par with a restaurant server. Because when a server in a restaurant comes to your table, what do they ask you? Can I take your order? Have you looked at the menu and have you decided, right? How different is that to the person coming to the open house and said, you've looked at my menu here, and does this fit your order, right? If it doesn't, tell me what your order is, and I'll find it, right? But here's my point. If you are an order taker, how high value is that?
No.
It is not. So you are bringing low value, and you're marketing to a small market with a ton of competition with low value. You know what that all adds up to? A hard way to make money. A tough living. 7% of the realtors make 93% of the money. You know why? Because they spend the most money on marketing for the most part. That's the truth of it. I'm going to show you how to change all of that, but it starts here. It starts with you understanding need. Here's the difference. Stop chasing the need. 100% of your effort is toward chasing the need of a small market. Let me show you right now how many people need to buy real estate, but they don't know it and you don't know it. It's way bigger than 3 or 4%. All right, see on the right, it says 7 to 10% are real estate investors. Here's what that means. 7 to 10% of the people in this country own 2 or more properties. Now, I've done the research. LA County is about 7.5%. Orange County is 10%. So let's just talk about LA County since we're in LA County, okay? 7.5% of the people in LA County own 2 or more properties. All right, now, that means 92.5% of the people either own their home or they rent. So that next number, 40%, only own their home. Now, of the 40% that own their home, what percentage of those do you think would like to be financially secure and retire? All of them.
40%.
Now, of the other 50% that rent, 30%, the bottom 30% we can't help, because they, either unemployed, or they just don't make enough money, they're part-time or whatever. But 20% of that 50% that rent have the capacity to buy, but they choose not to buy. So here's my point. We have 40% of the people that only own their home, and 20% that are renting, that is 60% of the population, right? Of that 60%, 100% of those people want to be financially secure, they want to have the ability to retire, and they want to be wealthy if possible, right? Don't we know that all 60%, 100% of those people want those three things? Absolutely. So what would you rather have, a strategy to market to the 60% or the 3 or 4?
60.
60.
I want you to weigh, I want you to grasp the opportunity. We got 100% of the realtors chasing the 3 or 4%, doing exactly the same thing, and wondering why they're having a hard time making money. That doesn't take rocket science to me to figure that one out. Or, I'm going to show you a better way to market to 60% of the people, that 100% of them want financial security, want to be able to retire, want to create a legacy of wealth, and there's only one person that can bring that to them. And you know who that one person is?
Me.
A realtor. You. But you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to market to them, and you don't know how to bring it. You know what all these 90% people are relying on for financial security? If it's not real estate, what is it?
Savings.
Savings. And where does that savings usually go? Either the bank, 401k, or IRA, right? So here's the amazing part, and when I say what I've learned, and I mean truly amazing, is that we have 100% of residential realtors that are pursuing the 3 or 4% and believe there's no other way. We have 60% of the American people that want financial security and believe there's only one way, saving in a 401k or IRA. And they're both groups are 100% wrong. You know what's amazing to me? Why it's so amazing? It's amazing that no one has, before what I'm doing, has done this and talked to agents and consumers before. See, this bottom 90% that believes in a 401k or IRA, if you're in that category, okay, because we all want to be financially secure, right? We all want to be financially secure. So we're looking and saying, okay, what's the path? What direction? How do I become financially secure? So who do I call? Who do I call? Who do you call for a financial plan? A financial planner, right? Wasn't that really astute of themselves to call themselves financial planners? You hire a financial planner, and what does a financial planner sell?
401ks?
Yeah, the path is through the stock market, right? You don't, but who calls a realtor for their financial plan? Now, how many of you here believe that real estate is superior to the stock market when it comes to wealth?
Oh, yeah.
It's not close. Now, here's here's another thing that is just incredibly amazing to me. Financial planners have 90% market share. 90% market share in my book is market domination. If you control 90% market share in your farm, would you say you're dominant? Pretty awesome, right? Financial planners have 90% of the market share, and their financial investment product is dwarfed. It's not close to your investment product. How is it possible that an entire industry that has a financial value that blows away the financial planners is being dominated by this industry that's bringing an inferior service? And you know what the answer is? What you believe. See, they don't have to sell any of you guys in this, because the whole residential real estate world doesn't believe the home is an asset. All of you have been trained to sell homes like you're selling refrigerators. If you were selling a refrigerator, let's say you're a manufacturing company and you make refrigerators, what are you gonna advertise? Pictures of refrigerators, right? Here are my refrigerators. And what's the salesperson gonna talk about? He's gonna ask you, well, do you want one door or two doors? Do you want your freezer above, bottom, or on the side? How many cubic feet? Do you want stainless steel or do you want colors, right? Doesn't that sound like a realtor? How many bedrooms and baths do you have, right? What's your square footage? See, here's my point, and I want you to understand the strategy. Here's the difference. What the refrigerator company is doing is marketing to people that have already decided, I have a need for a new refrigerator. So it's that strategy, and you're doing exactly the same thing. And so what you're really doing as a salesperson is you're filling an order, low value. I'm going to show you a far better way to bring the life-altering value, okay? Now, we have some marketing pieces that, oh, here we go, okay? All right, we passed, all right. Take a look at your panel. We have this little brochure, Why Buy Real Estate? And let's start off with this one that says Creating Need and Value. All right, now, creating need and value with consumers. Compare the intellectual values of these marketing strategies. What we're going to share with you is we're going to talk about how you create need instead of chase it. You've been trained to chase. I'm going to show you how we create need, okay?
I apologize.
Yeah,
Which slide? Do we have that in our position? Oh,
this one right here.
Gotcha,
Okay.
thank you.
Everybody see this? Now this, on the left it says Tom Ferry Marketing Strategies. These are 10 headlines that I received from an email, and you probably get the same emails that Tom Ferry's marketing it for all this stuff. Here's the first point I want to talk about is, and we have a packet, we're going to get into this, but I want you to understand the sales process. Selling, there's 4 steps to selling, all right, in this process. Here's the first one and the most, well, they're all critical, but here's the first one to get the process started. We are all consumers, right? Now I want you to imagine right now, you're at home, someone knocks on your front door, and you're like, I'm not expecting anybody. If you're not expecting anybody and someone knocks at the front door, what are you thinking?
It better be good.
Somebody's selling something probably, right? So, are you walking to the door all chipper, excited to greet the salesperson? No, you're irritated to start with, right? You walk to the front door, you open the door, it's like, yep, that's a salesperson. Right? That's what we think. Here, the person's standing there. How many sentences do you give the salesperson before you say, no, I'm not interested, buddy? And close the door. If you're nice, 1 or 2. Some of you look, oh, no, hell no, it's a salesperson, you close the door, right? That's what we do, that's what my wife does, but anyway. I have sympathy for salespeople, so I'll let them get out there a couple sentences. They say, well, no, I don't really want those magazines. All right, and I close the door. Here's my point, okay? As a salesperson, your headline is critical. I read the Wall Street Journal. And if you go to the Wall Street Journal, online, what they've done is they've recreated it where it looks just like the newspaper, the old newspaper did, right? And tons of articles, all right? You look at any online magazine. How do you choose which articles you're gonna read? The headline, right? The headline is your one opening sentence. So the question I have for you, your entire sales career is dependent on how powerful your opening headline is. How powerful is your opening headline today? How powerful is the average realtor's opening headline? How powerful are you or anybody know interested in buying or selling real estate? If we're waiting for people to arrive at need, and we know only 3 or 4% have the need, then we also know that 96, 97% of the people are going to say what? No, not interested, right? So if 96 to 97% of the people are gonna say no to you, how powerful is that headline? Not. Now, I gotta tell you, I gotta give a lot of credit to the people that can take 96 to 97% no's. And keep doing it, right? That's the reality. Why are they doing it? Because they believe it's the only way to do it. So I'm gonna show you different headlines, but we have to have a powerful headline. Now, here's the other thing, is there are